Breaking news. Mohamed Salah is leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. This kind of come as a shocker, but we'll get into this. Let's get into this. Hello and welcome to Yasser TV. Welcome back to the channel, people. And listen, Salah has decided that he's going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season, this season specifically, and this has actually, caught us by surprise. Do you know what I mean? Caught everyone by surprise, whether you're a Liverpool fan, whatever you're. Like, people actually said that at the end of the day, some people were already talking about, potentially selling him this season, him being at a low. But we all know what Salah has done for Liverpool. All the jokes aside, the biases aside, all the things aside, I actually like Mo Salah. I think I rate him. I rate him. Yeah. Bro, listen, we like Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? And to see him balling out in the Premier League, being from Africa, especially like North Africa, Northeast Africa, like it's good to see. Do you know what I mean? And seeing him take it to the level he has, the respect he's gained around the football world, and the amount of numbers that he's got. Do you know what I mean? But I think there's always been a debate whether he's, one of the best or greatest wingers and blah, 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 this kind of thing. And I think that's mainly because of his numbers. But like, as a footballer, I've never really put him all the way up there. But there's been a lot of moments. Do you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of moments. But yeah, Mohamed Salah. Listen, I'm feeling old, bro. Do you get me? I remember when he played for Chelsea and all of a sudden he went to Liverpool after going to all these other clubs. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Basel or Fiorentina and all these clubs over there, found himself at Roma, and then he joined Liverpool. So he joined Liverpool. No one expected him to do what he's done. Of course, like in terms of where he was going, people were talking about him like as a flop, and he's done what he's done for Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? It's undeniable what he's done for Liverpool and how important he's been for Liverpool. But yeah, he's leaving, having won, I think, 2 Premier Leagues, especially in recent history. You know what I'm saying? He was part of the team that, essentially was dominated the Premier League. I know that City essentially have dominated the Premier League in the last couple of years, right? Since Pep came, the first couple of years, and then he's just dominated since then, won a 4-peat treble. But it was Salah and, the Klopp's team, which includes Salah, that was, going to the end of the season, whether it's losing the league on 1 point, whether it's, taking it all the way to the last day and all these things. He was part of that team, and he's given us moments as football fans. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I say moments, he was someone that was also making the game a bit more the spicy, scoring a goal. You know what I mean? Whether it's getting a penalty, whether it's scoring a goal, and then now all of a sudden the game is a bit more exciting. So yeah, man. Listen, like they say, end of the era. And obviously the news came out. Obviously, for me, the first time I've seen about the first thing I've seen about this is actually when I seen a video of Salah talking about his leaving. And that's actually the first time I found out Salah was about to leave. So it wasn't necessarily anything that I knew was gonna happen, but Salah tweeted, but I've seen it on Twitter anyway. I've seen a video of Salah that he released. I'm not gonna play it because I don't even know if it's copyright free or not. But essentially, it's him coming out within less than an hour, and it's got 5.5 million views. He's come out and announced that he's leaving at the end of the season, and then obviously the tweets been coming out ever since. And this is when the news has come out, broken by Fabrizio and also Ben Jacobs. You know what I mean? Mo Salah decided to leave Liverpool in June at the end of the season. And Ben Jacobs has also said Saudi remains strong in the Saudi interest remains strong in the Egyptian. So he could that actually be his final or one of his few destinations that he's going to go on? Fabrizio's also talking about, also talked about him wanting to start a new chapter and stuff like that. So yeah, so these are some of the quotes from the video. I wanted to start by saying that I never imagined this club, this city, this people would become part of my life. Liverpool's not just a football club, it's passion, it's history, it's spirit. I can't explain it to anyone not a part of this club. We won the most important trophies. We fought together through the hardest times of our lives. I want to thank everyone who was part of this club throughout my time, especially the teammates, past and present, and to the fans and the supporters. Leaving is never easy. You gave me the best time of my life. I will always be one of you. This club will always be my home to me and to my family. Thank you for everything. Because of you, I'll never walk alone. And obviously, Ben Jacobs and Fabrizio have also said that Liverpool to allow Mo Salah to leave on a free transfer despite having a contract at the club valid until 2027. Liverpool accepts Salah's desire to try a new chapter in his career after making history at Liverpool. So it looks like he kind of pushed this. I think we know the things that were happening. I think around December time when he weren't being played, or he had a couple of times on the bench, and he will be leaving on a free even though he has a year left. Now that could also mean that it was like a 1+1 type of contract. I don't know too much about what contract he's on, but yeah, so they're saying that Mo Salah will leave Liverpool on a free transfer. Parties came to an agreement over a termination in a similar manner to the exit the club negotiated with Jurgen Klopp when he decided to leave. The Liverpool hierarchy also know that someone like a Salah, a Klopp, those legends from that time, if they really want to leave and stuff like that, they have to do it in an amicable way because, you know, the fans won't have it. You know what I'm saying? The fans won't have it. But yeah, so like I said, Salah is on his way out from Liverpool at the end of the season, and I'm also kind of pulled up some stats to show you guys what he's done in the league. Right now it shows us obviously he's been here since 2017-18 season. When I look at some of the numbers, it's quite crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? His GA is what, 42, 30, 20, 29, 27, 36, 31, 28, and then I think his 47 was last season, and this season it's currently on 11. And of course, he's not having the greatest of seasons. Salah has 4 hat-tricks, 189 goals and 92 assists in in all these appearances, bro. It's I think he's at 310 appearances. So Champions League, Mo Salah has a hat-trick, 47 goals, 19 assists and 82 appearances for Liverpool in the Champions League. So look, there's always going to be debates about him, and I think a lot of the times people are confusing like a player's impact, GA and X, Y, and Z, and people will always have these kind of debates and conversations. I wouldn't say I rate Salah highly like some people did, but I respected him. I respected him for what he done. I respected him for what the things he brought to Liverpool. And bro, he was in that team obviously when he got injured by Ramos for the Champions League. I'm pretty sure that's the season they got to the final. They got to the final, if I'm not mistaken, the year after as well, and winning it against Tottenham. And they got to I think when they tried to do the quad and Trent fell asleep at the back post, you know what I mean? He's gotten to multiple Champions League finals, you know, a lot of title races in his career, essentially almost every season. Won it last season and had 47 GA in the Premier League, like I showed you guys. And yeah, listen, it's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Crazy. And I think this could be a continuation from what happened in December. Maybe he's realizing that he's on a decline. Maybe he's realizing that maybe I should leave now before the people's memory of me are like the worst part of me. Does that make sense? So like, you know how everyone's looking at Salah now and thinking, yo, this guy's finished, blah, 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 whatever. He doesn't want people to remember him like this. And I think he could go in an amicable way. Look, at the end of the day, people will always remember Salah, especially in recent history. I don't think he's like... I think we would probably remember him like the Rooneys and those kind of people. It depends what time period of your life he was in. For some people, Salah, VVD, Company, and all these people, like, especially in the recent, and the Rodris and all that, they all KDBs, they all their version of our Rooney's, Van Persie's, and all those players that came from around that era. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, look, it's big news. Who and obviously you got all the questions now. Who they're gonna replace him with? We've heard the rumors and people talking about Elise and that, but whether that would happen, I highly doubt it. But we have to see. Are they going to replace Salah with someone of similar, well, not necessarily similar quality, but someone very close to his quality? Or is Frimpong going to play there? Do you know what I mean? There's all these questions. We'll see the answer to, obviously, at the end of the season, during the transfer window, and what happens going into the next season. But that's a big loss for Liverpool. That's a big loss for Liverpool. And that's also why I always talk about capitalizing your career. It's a very short career. Very, very short career. Most of the people that watch Salah coming in at Liverpool and are talking about Salah going in, you think, oh, how's time flown by so quick? It's almost been a decade. Do you know what I mean? Not far, but almost not far from a decade now since he's been here. So, yeah. Like I said, big news. Like I said, make sure you're liking and subscribers. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Support the channel, share the video, hype the video, all that kind of stuff. Just wanted to give my input about the news Salah leaving. I know it's got nothing to do with my club, but at the end of the day, I know I got Liverpool fans supporting the channel, so I thought I'd drop a video. And yeah, Salah is leaving at the end of the season. Here we go. You know, we got a here we go version. But appreciate everyone that supported the channel, and I'm out.